Well, welcome back. We're going to switch conversations now, but while we do that, don't forget to please keep the pressure on, keep the conversation going on social media, wherever you are, about, the SARS issue. But we're going to be talking about the Ondo State elections now. Yeah, Ondo State has come and gone, and Ondo State is in the focal point now. On the 10th of October, people of Ondo State will be going to the polls to elect a governor for the state. And I'm joined now by Omolara Busola Taiwo. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, there was a lot of people who were a little disappointed, apparently, that when the Edo State elections were going on, not a lot of focus was put on education. There was a lot of talk about godfathers, and a bit of infrastructure here and there, but education didn't get enough of attention. Did you feel that way about it?
Yes, apparently, I felt that way because education is the bedrock of every society. And then I believe if there is any government who is going to be serious with development and what have you, education is a very important aspect of the society that they should talk about.
Yeah. I mean, you're a teacher. In the last couple of years, have you seen significant improvements, or have you seen policy, state government, federal government, that has made you a little bit, hopeful about the educational system here?
Wow, none. Seriously, none. And being a teacher, like I would tell people that most times they tend to accuse teachers of being the ones who are not doing too well, or who are the ones who are this and all that. But then for me, I do tell them that even teachers, we are also victims as far as these policies are concerned.
Yeah.
Because as a teacher, I can't, as far as the Nigerian educational system is concerned, I can't go to class today and say, oh, today we are not going to use books. Let's just all go outside and learn practically. The policymakers will be like, is that what you're meant to do? Like, that is not in the curriculum. That is not what you are being paid to do. You are being paid to be in the classroom, to teach, to talk, have students neatly and nicely rolled, like, what have you. Like, the educational system in Nigeria is not that creative. That is how I see it. And then when we have teachers who are trying to move away from that archaic or same old way of doing things, it's either you're being termed as being insubordinate, you're trying to be more than what you can do, and all what have you. So, I
mean, the Ondo State elections are coming up now. Are these the same kind of complaints you have from the educational system there? And just looking at the election, are you happy with the focus that's been put on education at all?
Actually, I think the focus on education for Ondo State politics or the coming election right now is on the aspect of the school fee. And for me, I believe that is a good place to start. Now, the government increased the school fee and said, if you want to have quality education, you have to pay more and all that. Fine. But then, even as a leader, what sacrifice are you making for these people? I think just yesterday, there was this fought and back between the governor and the deputy about, you have XYZ amounts you're collecting, you have this, this is what is being sent to my... Fine. And this same government is saying that they cannot adequately fund education, yet you have such huge amount of money that you're spending between you and your families, your cronies, and all what have you. And then if you're saying that you want to increase the school fees, the parents that are going to pay for these school fees, what are they doing? You can't tell me to pay for a particular service because you can't, you can't increase the rate of a particular service, and then as government, you're not giving me an opportunity or an avenue to be able to pay for that service. It's either you're telling all that children of the poor or the masses should not go to school, or you are telling us to look for other ways of getting the money. So apparently the school fee is a good way to start as far as education is concerned for the...
Yeah. Well, we're joined now by Oluyemi Fashikpe via Skype. If you can hear me, how are you doing? A lot has been said and seen with regards to the Ondo State elections. Unfortunately, a lot has been about the governor and his deputy or his former deputy and party crossings and who's going to run in what platform and all of that. Do you get a sense that the people of Ondo State are getting what they want to hear from these candidates?
Well, if you ask me, I think we should have a campaign that should be EU-based. If you're campaigning to be a governor, then your campaign should be EU-based. You have to come tell us, let your mandate tell us what you're coming to offer us. And for the incumbent, tell us what you've done in the past and what you'll probably do if you're elected. So basically, I'm not, if you ask me, I'll tell you, I'm not impressed with the type of campaign I see around Ondo the sites, because I've seen them throwing around abuses, the deputy accusing somebody, the governor accusing. So I think basically we should have gone past this type of election campaign. If you're coming to lead a state, coming to get elected as a governor, you should come tell us what you have to offer us and not what's looking for faults of what has happened before. I think we are moving forward, should be moving forward and not taking us back to what we all actually experienced. So the campaign so far to me has not been EU based enough. So basically, I think they should do more. If you're coming to be our governor, let's tell us what you want to do. Actually, we know that probably there were some things that were not properly done in the past. So basically, we all know all of this. So tell us what the new things you're introducing. Give us a reason to vote you, not just telling us the bad thing about this and interchanging abuses and all. It's basically not what we want.
We have an incumbent governor there who a lot of people, I mean, he has put out a lot of, talk about what he's done for the state. You don't think that's enough? I mean, his actions, are they not loud enough to say, okay, this is my track record?
Well, I think when we're talking about election is about actually for an increment, it's about what you have done and how people appreciate what you have done so far. So basically, if you come to Ondo State now, in terms of development, you will have to ask them people and ask them, what is it that have changed in the state in the few years? So these things, I don't want to be critical. So it doesn't look like I'm campaigning, but basically, I think it is the decision of the people to take. That is why I'm particularly not happy with what is going on in the state at the moment. We're having a lot of election violence and all of that. So I think election should be about testing of popularity, how the people accept you. And that should be a function of the mandate, what you have brought forth, like, oh, this is what I'm going to do, or probably what you have done as an incumbent. It should not be, it should not be an issue of violence or where we are having. Today we have had, we have had gunshots a lot of places. Somebody was killed yesterday, somebody was killed today at the state capital, and these things didn't happen a lot of years before now. This is not our first election. We've had elections before now, and it was not this violent. So basically, I want to use the medium to call on the candidates to call their supporters to others. We are not going to war. We are going to an election. And this election, if you want to be our governor, come forth and tell us what actually you want to do. Give us a reason to vote for you.
I get you, but there's also a lot of talk about, the burden is now on the opposition because they are the ones who want to wrest power from the incumbent governor. Are the opposition candidates doing enough? Have they sold themselves enough, you think? Do you see any signs that, people are excited about, what's been said by anybody?
Well, our situation here, we have an opposition, we have a third force. So basically, the election is going to be between ZLP, PDP, and APC. So as far as me have seen, I think they are all trying to push. They all have their supporters. So basically, I'm more interested in the most popular candidate being elected. The incumbent has his anticipated. Then they know what he has done. If the people think, oh, he should be re-elected, then that should be done. Do you understand? So the PDP, they are doing they are on with their campaigns, and it's going on. But what we don't understand here is what I have problems with is the violence that is coming here. And basically, if you check the reports around, it's between the APC and the PDP. I don't think we should have violence. I don't think our election should be violent. Ondo State is known to be a very peaceful state. This is the first time our election is going in this dimension, and we are sad. We are not happy, basically. So whoever wants to become our governor should give us reasons to either re-elect him or elect the person. It should not be by violence.
Okay.
They are pressing their popularity, and we can all see that.
I definitely agree with you. I mean, violence is never the answer. Let me come to you now, Malara. Why do you think it's so hard for politics here to be issue-based? I mean, we had the Ondo State governorship elections. It was completely almost overtaken by who was sponsoring who, which godfather was where. Same thing seems to be happening here from what he's saying now. We're hearing about violence. We're hearing about, who's in what party. Why do issues not seem to excite the candidates enough? Is it a problem with the electorate, maybe?
Yeah, for me, I think the electorate have a whole lot of role to play when it comes to that. Because most times we notice that when it's time for election, people hardly care about what you have to offer them, what you have to offer when you get to the seat. It's about what you have to offer at that point in time. And also, I think it's, I would say the problem lies in us. Because even for those seeking the office, at the end of the day, when they get to Abuja or the capital city or what have you, they neglect those they were meant to look after. And because of that, probably because of, let me say, because of shared experience, those people just felt, oh, when another person comes, there's no point asking them what do we go there to do for us or what have you. Let's just collect whatever we can have from them right now and let's just be okay with that.
But like you said, Ondo State is one of those states where, I mean, we haven't particularly, it's not been the most peaceful state, but we don't necessarily associate it with violence per se. And things seem to be different this time. Does it mean we're retrogressing generally? I mean, in Ondo State, the elections itself ended up being smooth, for want of a better word, but the lead up to it was pretty hectic and tense. You know, are we doing worse than we were in the past? What's going on?
We can't say we are getting better or we're moving forward. If before elections we are hearing of violence, people being mined, being killed, oppositions clashing and all that, apparently we are retrogressing. And I don't think, apparently it is not even good for any country, third world, first world, or what have you. It is not good for any country just because of elections and people are already killing themselves and all that. So, and already I'm scared for Saturday because if pre-10th of October things are like this, then I can imagine what will happen on that day.
Yeah. How do citizens become different? You've said, yes, a lot of it, the blame is heaped on people. Because if the people demand better or demand different, they would get different. But we're at a place where people are blamed on poverty and they say the politicians intentionally don't want the citizens to do better because when you are that way, they can sort of manipulate you however they want. Is there a way out of this, you think, this kind of cycle?
Yes, for me, I believe the way out of this circle stay in us, like the citizens. What do we want? Do we want to keep recycling leaders or we want people who we can actually hold accountable? Now, when we talk about being accountable or accountability, we most times think about the president and the governor. But then we have those who are in the House of Assembly, the State House of Assembly, we have the House of Rep, we have the senators. Most times we don't even talk about them. The senators, what kind of law are they making? What are those things that when they go to the floor, to the Senate to talk about, that even we as citizens, we are happy about them, that, oh, they are really discussing what is affecting this nation, or they are just there to throw chairs at each other and steal the maize. Then we as citizens, we have to ask them for accountability, quite all right. But on the other side, don't forget that it is even within us that we choose our leaders. So whoever is leading us is just like we are saying this is the best among us, and that is why we've chosen this person to lead us or to be our representative. So it's not just about governors and presidents alone. I believe even the local government chairman, the councillors, somebody in Nigeria will be a councillor and they're not even living in that jurisdiction. Like, it is that bad. Yet when they come back, you see them sharing noodles, Maggi, Gary, and all what have you, and the people will start hailing them because nobody is asking them. And at the end of the day, you start saying, the president is a very good man, he's very this. But then your councillor that you can see every now and then, what are you demanding from him? What accountability are you asking from them?
From them.
None.
Let me come to you, Liam. With the people of Ondo State, what is paramount for them going forward? What is the biggest issue that they want to see tackled? Is it jobs? Is it a problem of infrastructure? Is it security? What is paramount on the Ondo voters' mind?
Yeah, basically before now, I don't think we have a lot of issues around security. Development has been slow, but going. But if you ask me, I think one thing I particularly do, I'm not happy about at the moment, it's our educational status. In the past 3-4 years, the tuition fee of our institutions has been hiked by over 300%, and I'm sure that has led to a lot of people dropping out of schools. So that is one of the things that makes us looking hard for. Though it was recently reversed, I think it was reduced to a certain amount. But then, you don't understand it when you were paying 30K in school and you wake up one day and it's been increased to like 150K with that. Anything else adding to that school, like some sort of things, new things being introduced. Such things lead to a lot of people dropping out of school. So basically, have more issues with our education. Then in the south, I think we have a lot of issues around electricity, which is one of their major problem. And I think whoever is going to become our governor needs to address those two. It's really, really important. Electricity is really not good in the south. And in terms of education, we need an avenue where our people will be more will have more access to education. So, and that can only happen when we don't have a too expensive tuition. So basically, those are the two major things that I think we need to really attend to at the moment. And I hope that all of our three major candidates who are contesting for the election are listening to this. Those are the major issues we are having in the state at the moment.
Very quickly, before we go, very quickly, are you hopeful for Saturday?
Yes, I am. Hopeful in what time, Tibuka?
Are things going smoothly?
Well, I want to believe that everything is going to be under control. I want to believe that what the pre-election violence that we have seen in the past few days will stop like almost immediately, because today we had an outcry today, and I know that the authorities are listening and they're watching and they will do the needful. What I'll just say is I want to encourage everyone to come out on Saturday regardless and exercise their civic responsibility in terms of voting for their choice of candidate so that we can elect our governor. And I don't think I see things going smoothly, basically.
All right. Very quickly now, Omara, you mentioned education there, which is also something you talked about. Ondo State, I mean, it was always a shining star when it comes to education. Yes. Ondo Ekiti, are you hopeful for the future for them? Very quickly.
Really, I'm hopeful for them, and I hope whoever would be the winner by this time next week, Sunday, will take the issue of education as a very serious one. Because like I said earlier, if any society is very serious about development, then education is one key sector they have to look into. So I'm hopeful that for them, I'm hopeful for the people of Ondo State that they will make the right choice. Yeah. And
is it just a tuition issue, you think?
Not just a tuition issue, apparently, because even if teachers are not well paid, you don't expect me to go to class with an empty stomach and you want me to teach enthusiastically or teach very well. It's not possible. So not just about tuition fee. Even teachers need to be taken care of. Then we also need infrastructures. You don't just go to school and sit on the ground and you expect that child to assimilate easily or very well. Yeah. So it's all around infrastructure, welfare of the teachers, and even welfare of the parents. Because parents who are not doing well, you don't expect them to send their children to school. They rather ask that child to go and hawk to make money for the family.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. I'm looking forward to a peaceful elections. We can only hope that things go smoothly and the violence goes away. Most importantly, whatever else happens, we pray against that. But violence, I think, is definitely where everybody should draw the line, and hopefully everything goes smoothly. We'll take a break now and be right back. Please don't go away.